Okay, so SpringHill Farm began on our family farm, which was SpringHill Farm. My mum and dad began that over 30 years ago, and they used to host kindergarten and school children out for a day on the farm. So at the end of the day, after they had collected hay and milled some flour and collected eggs, bits and pieces, they would have a very early paddock to plate concept of a muesli slice on the hay bales before they jumped on the bus to head home. And that's how the baking arm of SpringHill Farm began. Today, we're a very different business. So we employ 60 people here in Ballarat. We have purpose-built facilities, and we're supplying people all over Australia, such as Qantas and Rex, Accor Group, Officeworks, Coles, amongst many, many others. We have over 100 SKUs that we manufacture here. We manufacture both for our own brand, and we also manufacture for contract manufacturing clients as well. So our output varies very much depending on how we're packing those products. So within the SpringHill Farm range, we've got 9 delicious slices. So 3 of those are dietary, all gluten-free, and 2 of those also being vegan. It's definitely a market that we're seeing grow all of the time. The other 6 flavours are delicious home-style inspired treats. So delicious flavours like lemon and yogurt, raspberry and almond. Our ultimate compliment is always when someone says it tastes just like their grandma used to make from when they were young. So the lemon and yogurt slice is our top seller. It's been a favourite for 30 years and continues to be, but our gluten-free Rocky Road also sits really highly up there, and our newly released cookies and cream, which is, I guess, an Australian twist on an American classic. So we do have a range in Coles at the moment. That's a range that was developed for them called our biscuit slice range. It sits in the biscuit aisle. So it is an untopped slice, and it's basically I guess a chocolate block. So it has indents that you can snap and, you have for a picnic. So it's a bit of a combination of a biscuit, a slice and a chocolate block, I guess. So it's great to have that national distribution already. There's no doubt that the largest supermarkets have such an amazing reach, and if we want to play in retail, then that is something that we do need to be considering as well. But for us, obviously, as a second generation family business, the independents are always a huge part of what we do, and so how we manage our ranges moving forward is something that is a challenge for us, what we offer to majors and what we offer to independents, but certainly we think that there is a place for both. And we've conducted research in the past around slice, and there's definitely a real affinity from the Australian public for slices. We talk about bringing the slice from the Daggy School fate through to the modern market and really changing the perception of slices. But we also do recognise that, by changing the product offer, that can increase our scope as well. So we do have one line in our factory which is a slab line, so that makes slices, and the other line is a portioning line. So that gives us the opportunity to use that for new and exciting projects moving forward. We think there's very much a role for just delicious treats that are not about hunger, but more about emotional fulfillment and just really rewarding yourself. So that bite-sized piece, which is just that 2 bite, very much fits that target market, that people are wanting something, delicious, quality, but not wanting to feel like, they've overloaded. And so bite size is definitely the way forward for us going ahead. So we've just, we own a block of land here in Ballarat next door to our factory, and we'll be building a warehouse on that. We're hoping to have that up and running later in the year. That will then allow us to move our existing warehouse, which is at the back of our factory, and create a third production space, as well as in sort of straightening out our existing production lines. But what we're also doing at the same time is, I guess, going back and automating where we can in our factory. So over the last 12 months, we've spent a considerable amount of money in automating what we already do. We're still very much, we're still a very manual plant compared to some of the larger manufacturers, that's for sure, but we are still automating. We can put out 20,000 slices an hour these days. So that's small still compared to some some of the larger guys, but it's a long, long way from where we used to be, even 5 years ago. Actually just completed an MPD pipeline project, which is what we'll be working on over the next 3 years. So very much growing our SpringHill Farm brand, and innovation in that space will be something that is first and foremost for us as a business moving forward. So we're working with some great people in bringing some new and exciting products to life that we're hoping to have out sort of later this year. So we've primarily been a food service provider under our own brand, under contract. A lot of what we do there is for retail, but actually prior to COVID, we'd started our rebrand with a very much a focus on increasing our presence in retail space. That's something that we have started to do with a listing of a select range into Coles this year. We're also supplying into Officeworks. So I guess for us, because we do give away so much product, whether that be in airlines or accommodation or in catering venues, having people contact us and say, well, where can I buy that product from? We need to really round out that circle for them to allow them to complete that purchase journey, I guess. The other thing that we've invested in over the last 12 months is a new website as part of our rebrand, but really streamlining our online direct-to-consumer capabilities, and really, I guess, making that a more special experience for our customers as well, so that they can come direct to us as well, and we can ship all over Australia to them. Definitely significant growth. That's doubled for us in the last year. It's still very much a small part of what we do, but we see there's a really important part of us being able to directly connect with our consumers. The other thing that we do through our website, which we're actually running a trial now, is that we have what we consider what we call a tribe. So that's a group of dedicated consumers that we talk to about our new product launches. They do taste testings for us. They rank our survey. They'll give us feedback based on survey, taste, texture, overall look, what they'd expect to pay, where they'd expect to buy these products. So they're very much an important part of what we do moving forward in terms of our product launches, and this gives us a way to be able to connect with them really easily as well. COVID's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, and I guess assuming that we continue our recovery from COVID as is, then look, our biggest challenge is obviously our expansion and capital investment for us. So where we're looking to automate, obviously continuing product innovation. Under our brand, we manufacture everything that we sell. So we are looking at, what new capabilities we would like to bring into our business as well. And staff recruitment and training is a huge focus for us as well. Being a regional business, we have a great workforce. We have 60 people here, and it's being able to ensure that we upskill them and make sure that we can continue to make the best product that we can. As a brand, we were down about 90%. So prior to our rebrand, we were very much a food service brand. So airlines, accommodation, corporate catering, all of those sorts of were our bread and butter. And it happened extremely quickly, to the point where we were actually at a meeting with Qantas on the Monday, and on the Thursday 30,000 people stood down from Qantas. So it seemed to take everyone taken aback, I guess, by the speed of change. But what kept us going was actually our contract manufacturing, which was through retail during that time. And obviously, we also supplied places like private hospitals, and obviously our online sales as well picked up during that time, because I think there was an absolute support from our followers to want to get people through this time. And it wasn't only wanting to support Australian manufacturers, but it was also wanting to support their friends and to send care packages. And I think that outpouring of care, whether that be for the business or for the people that were receiving the products, was hugely evident during COVID. I think since COVID, we have certainly seen people considering Australian sourcing much more obviously, I guess, in their sourcing decisions, and to the point where, from a branding point of view, that's something that we're going to be talking more about on our packaging, because I think, purchase decisions by consumers largely, they're wanting to see Australian-made products, and they're wanting to support those businesses, and we've got to make it an easy decision for them to make, so that they know we're Australian and they can easily pick us up. I think last year, we learned so many things as a nation, but I think that supply chain and that importance of having local supply for things like food became really very, very evident that that was something that was important. And it's certainly something that we have seen changes in from our consumer and our customer behaviours, that they're actively looking to support Australian businesses, I think even more so from COVID. And, you know, the flow-on effects for that to communities are huge. You know, as I said, we've got 60 people working here. You know, that's a similar for many manufacturers all the way around. And the flow-on effects, I think it's one manufacturing job that we have create six other flow-on jobs. You know, there's a huge flow-on impact for the Australian community, and I think, you know, just encouraging people obviously to consider that in their sourcing moving forward, because, you know, Australians are making amazing products, and it's great to see them at the forefront at the moment.